I wasn't planning on actually covering Handyman Saito on a weekly basis, but episode 2, I had to get on here, and we have to talk about Franlil and Ninia. Very, very special party. I mean, of all the pairings that they've had so far with this entire series, well, at least these first 2 episodes, correction, that's the one that I get the biggest kick out of, honestly, is this idea of, I don't know, I've played a lot of MMOs. And in my experience in playing MMOs, you do have sort of this kind of codependency that kind of develops with a lot of the tank, healer, DPS sort of mechanic going on. And yeah, I've met a few people that are healers for the sake that they want to be wanted. It's kind of one of those classes in a lot of MMOs where if somebody, nothing against those people, if somebody feels like they want to be wanted, they go for the healer class because you get that feeling that people need you around, and it's a good feeling. Nothing wrong with that, but this takes it to a whole nother level. Our first introduction with these 2 characters with Franlil, I don't know, it sort of indicated that she goes for the style that she goes to because there's a side of her that almost likes to be healed, likes to have somebody heal her. And so, yeah, in the end, it feels like she kind of likes this healer. But when we cut to the perspective of the healer, and it turns into, like, you think it's going to be Yuri. That's honestly what they're going for, is they're going for, this is Yuri. Elf girl and human girl. And Yuri is Doki Doki happening in the dungeon. But no, it's literally this healer likes to possess somebody. Like, it transitions from, I like to be wanted, to I like this person, to no, I just like the idea that you will become mine. Like, you're gonna need me so much, you're not gonna be able to live without me because I'm gonna heal you. And it's funny because it gives a perspective that she technically is not that skilled. She's not a great healer. She doesn't have these great skills that other healers have. It's just simply that she has enough that this person needs me, and I'm gonna make her need me. You can't live without me. And then that she has some sort of weird twisted thing about, I'm using words very loosely here because of YouTube. She has a interest in blood and wounds. And so she goes to licking them. It'll help if my saliva infuses with the wound and helps you. That's a lie. The entire time, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. And then, yes, the punchline at the very end, having this orc watching and scratching the wall. Very, very interesting show. I don't know. I almost figure like every single episode is going to give us at least like one extremely out of nowhere scene. First episode had the whole situation with the measurements and how Lafinpan was the exact measurements of this king's thing. And this one just throws this curveball with a healer's interesting quirk and the monk that she's helping. Super funny, though. But no, the rest of the episode was pretty solid. I really did enjoy a lot of the other kind of scenes they had. The king thing was... I didn't like it at first, but they had a really funny punchline to it. This idea that this king is waiting for a hero to come, and he's like, I guess I'm going to have to handle it. And you're thinking this dude's dead. And then he comes back, and everybody's petrified that tried to take over the throne and take over the treasury. The minister apparently can turn people to stone. And yeah, the king comes back with the head of the demon lord. Like, these two are like, they don't even need the help of heroes. They'll just handle it themselves. But no, like, I did appreciate the developments we had from Lafinpan and Relza. Relza being the idea that she apparently had this drops of life that was given to her by Morlock. Very precious item, but she needed this other item to go with it in order to get rid of her scar. Again, we kind of hinted at with the first episode that she really is self-conscious of this scar on her face, and she was upset to have Saito even see it. She thought it was like this blemish, and yes, this combination was supposed to make that go away, but as they both get teleported away, and they end up getting attacked by this golem, Saito jumps in to help her out, is pretty much gone. Like, the dude gets, like, he's got the rib cage hanging out of the chest and everything. Dude's gone. And then she decides to sacrifice that one precious item she has in order to save his life. And yes, the follow-up scene was super cute with Lafinpan, again, knowing Relza likes him, showing off his face and how she had to... It's a secret. how she had to apply the potion. But no, super cute. I really do ship Saito and Ralza. They're just super cute together. And again, technically from that whole scene, getting that Saito feels a little upset in the idea that he's like, what was this? What was the purpose of this? I came here and just to die again. Like, what happens now? Again, really hitting heavy on the idea that he feels like he wants to be here. He was not needed before, and now he's suddenly needed, and it makes him feel very special. But no, Laufenpan's scene was super good. I really did like that. Yes, that's the big question mark that always comes up is why are they having to pay Laufenpan for healing? It doesn't make any sense. She's part of this party. Saito even points it out. Credit to him, which is a frustration I have with a lot of these types of stories, which seems to be becoming an ongoing joke a lot with a lot of these stories. We had it with Immoral Guild, is the healer that requires payment. Why do they require payment when they're technically a part of the group that everybody fulfills their role? Doesn't make any sense. They're getting split. Everybody gets their split. Why does Laufenpan get extra for healing? Doesn't make any sense. Well, they actually decided to make a story beat out of it. The idea that she has to sacrifice these coins to this moon goddess. That apparently at some point the moon goddess had all these fairies, moonlight fairies. They were all enjoying their time on the moon. At some point they were flaunting their beauty. And the moonlight goddess decided to strike them down and curse them. And every single moonlight fairy from that point on has to give up a sacrifice of gold coins. Otherwise, they get smaller and smaller and smaller. And Ralza says specifically, in 5 years, if things keep going the way that they were going, she would be like the size of a grain of sand. At least gives reason to it. And I like the fact that Saito's like, well, then give her all my money. That's fine. I don't need the money. She does more than I do. Again, really hitting on the idea that Saito believes that he's useless. But it was really cute, the idea that she's like, no, she'll have too much pride for that. Which you get an indication of that. So I do like his little workaround, the idea that, well, I'll just require her help more often. So he's asking for blessings and stuff when he really doesn't need it because he's just looking for an excuse to give her money for work that she technically does. So really cute way to kind of resolve this situation. And my big question mark that comes from that is there a possibility that Laufenpan can get bigger? Does the curse always make the Moonlight Fairies smaller and smaller and smaller if they don't pay enough? Does the reverse happen where if they pay enough, they get bigger and bigger and bigger? Can we have a full-size Laufenpan? Is a big question mark. So I'll be curious to see if that's something that becomes a thing later on. If Saito is essentially giving her double what she had before, does that increase the amount? Does that increase her size? Because they were saying specifically that when Ralza first met Laufenpan, when she first joined the party, she was twice as big as she was now. So she wasn't the size of the guy's unit. She was twice as big as that guy's unit. So it'll be interesting to see if that's something that they'll kind of sneak into the story, which I think will be great. Yeah, the only other scene we had is the whole cooking stuff, which was funny. Ralza didn't want to eat it, and then Laufenpan again says, "Oh, so you don't want to eat Saito's food?" And then she immediately goes to eat it. But yeah, the whole scene with the Mevina and how she was like, "Oh, you need the assassination daggers." Well, look, what are you using it on, Ralza? It's like, why does this shop owner think that he wants to kill Ralza suddenly? I don't know, maybe she's jealous of Ralza? That's the only I can think of. Super solid episode. Like I said, I really wasn't planning on covering this weekly, but I just had to get on here and talk mostly about the elf and the human league. And technically Laufenpan, my theories on that. But yeah, it'll be still a really solid series. Looking forward to I still don't like the cuts. They're way too jarring, but super, super good series overall. So anyway, that's my thoughts on episode 2 of Handyman Saitou. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, make sure to hit that like button down below. Comment. Let me know what's thought of the episode. Do you want to heal her like Nina? Do you want to heal her like Nina? I'd like to be in a party with Nina and Franlil. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure that subscribe button so you get my content. I do news, reviews, first impressions, top list. If it's anime, it's pretty much here. Additionally, if you want to support the channel more, we have a Patreon link, tips link, and a super thanks button down below. I greatly appreciate what it does, and you'll take care.